Alright, everyone, welcome back. So we are almost done with the non-playoff teams here in our season reviews. We have the Detroit Red Wings here today. We have our last team of the Eastern Conference. I would say that considering the fact that the Red Wings have missed the playoffs every single year that I've not only watched hockey, but that I've started this YouTube channel, I would say that they're making a lot of progress and getting themselves back into the playoffs, and I think there's no doubt they'll probably be back in it next year. We'll see. It's hard for teams to get over that hump, but I think the Red Wings, if you look at the teams currently, they probably have the best odds to do it. They went 41, 32, and 9 this year for 91 points. They were 18th in the NHL. They were tied with the Washington Capitals to get into the playoffs. The only thing is that I think the Capitals had like goal differential or something, or not goal, definitely not goal differential. Definitely like, I think it was 5v5 points or regulation wins over the Red Wings to get themselves into the playoffs. But above all, I think the Red Wings had a really good year. I don't think that them not making the playoffs should write it off. They had a really good year. They took a massive step this year, and I think it shows the direction they're moving in over this next couple of seasons. They had a .555 points percentage. They had a 278 goals for, 274 goals against, which is a +4 difference. Not bad. We've seen a lot of +4 differences in a lot of these videos recently. They have a 23, 13, and 5 record at home, and they have an 18, 19, and 4 record on the road. So overall, not a bad, a really good home record, and a pretty middling road record, to be honest. I think you would want something more of that road record for sure, but I definitely think that overall they had a really good year when you look in terms of stats. They had a 3.35 goals per game, which was 9th. So they were top 10 in goals for. They looked really good. A 3.33 goals against, which was 25th. So one of the bigger issues over the last couple of years was definitely the goals against and the goaltending. That was an issue this year, but I think that with the right tweaks, with Kosa getting ready to come in soon, I think they can get over that hump within that next season, honestly. They had a 23.1 power play percentage, which is ranked 9th, and they had a 79.6 penalty kill percentage, which was ranked 14th. So, overall, they had a very good special teams when you look in terms of the team that did not make the playoffs, and I think that's awesome for a team that wants to get in it next year, and I think it shows that they're ready. I feel like this team is probably ready to get over that hump. We'll just see what has to happen in the offseason, and let's see if they'll get over that hump next year. It's been 8 years since they made the playoffs last, and I think they definitely want to get over that and make it into the playoffs, but obviously we shall see if that happens. Lucas Raymond led this team in scoring this year when you look at goal scorers. 82 games played, 31 goals, 41 assists, 72 points. Raymond had a great season, a great second half to the year, and I think that he's part of that future for the Red Wings and looked awesome this year. I think that he's really starting to shape into the player that we envisioned him to be when he was drafted, and I think that shows with the Red Wings this year. Dylan Larkin, they decided to keep him around. There were rumors that they might move him in last year's trade deadline, but 68 games played, 33 goals, 36 assists, 69 points. Obviously, without your captain, through a couple of games there, it definitely showed in the Red Wings play. They kind of struggled at parts here a little bit, but still, Larkin had a great season. I think that should not go unnoticed, and I definitely think that being above a point per game when the team was, or when you missed a couple of games is pretty good. Alex DeBrincat is third in scoring with 82 games played, 27 goals, 40 assists, 67 points. DeBrincat, definitely, I would have expected more goal scoring wise, but I thought he had a good year in Detroit, a good first season. We'll see how next year goes for them. But obviously acquiring DeBrincat, acquiring Patrick Kane, made this team look a lot better offensively this year. And one of those guys, too, that looked good was Shane Gostisbehere, who was fourth in scoring. 81 games played, 10 goals, 46 assists, 56 points. Not going to lie to you, I'm a Flyers fan. The Red Wings were fighting with us for that wild card 2 spot, but I wanted them to get in. I did. I love this team. This team has a lot of players that I like, and I really enjoyed them this year, and I really wish that Even though I wanted the Flyers to make it, I really wish they made it. I really wish the Red Wings made it too. But of course, it's taking a while for them to get over that hump, obviously. But Gostisbehere played a big factor in why they were so great this year as well. Good offensive defenseman, scored a lot this year, and I think that should not go unnoticed. JT Compher, 5th in scoring with 77 games played, 19 goals, 29 assists, 48 points this year with the Red Wings as well. Compher had a good year. I do think they would wish that they used that money on someone else, but I thought that Compher still had a good season, and I think that he can be a solid third-line center next season for sure for this Red Wings team. So Compher looked like a good player this year. Patrick Kane missed a lot of time with his injury, came in later during the year, but 50 games played, 20 goals, 27 assists for 47 points. I remember when Patrick Kane was signed to a contract to come to Detroit, there were a lot of fans that were incredibly optimistic, and they were rightfully so. He had a good year. I think he played really well this year. And I think that with DeBrincat too, there's a good chance that he comes back next season. I don't know why they would sign him to a 1-year deal just for him to not come back next year. I think they want to try and sign him, obviously, but obviously we'll see what goes on there. David Perron then, 76 games played, 17 goals, 30 assists, 47 points. Perron had a very good year. I think that he's been exciting this season for the Red Wings, and I think that definitely it shows in his play. I do think, though, that you want some more out of him for sure. You want some more out of the solid guy in Perron than you got this year. Daniel Sprong, 76 games played, 18 goals, 25 assists, 43 points. For the money that Sprong makes, he had a really good season. And I think that, they will keep him around next year. They'll definitely try to for sure. Because I thought that on the money that he made this year, he played really well. But he's definitely going to want a pay raise next season then. Moritz Seider, 9th in scoring then with 82 games played, 9 goals, 33 assists, 42 points. Seider had a good year as well. I think that shows that how enjoyable the Red Wings defense is going to be. He is expiring, though, so we'll see what happens there with Seider. And then Michael Rasmussen, 10th in scoring with 75 games played, 13 goals, 20 assists, and for 33 points with the Red Wings as well. Rasmussen looked okay. I think you could have gotten more out of him, though, but not a bad, fourth-line guy, honestly, for Detroit. So, yeah, the offense looked better. The defense looked better. I think that this year was a massive improvement for this team. Remember, there was only a couple of years ago when they had 91 points. When they had 40 points, when they were the worst team in the NHL by a long shot. Now, they're kind of back to getting closer. They're getting closer and closer to the playoffs. And we'll see what happens once they make it into the playoffs, which should be soon, relatively. Now, the biggest thing that I would argue held them back this year was the goaltending. Alex Lyon, 21, 18, and 5, a 3.05 goals against and a .904 save percentage. I thought Lyon overall had a decent year with Detroit. I think that if he had been fully healthy, I think the team would have been much better. But Lyon really kind of carried them in parts, got them way closer to the playoffs. James Reimer played well too, 11, 8, and 2, a 3.11 and a .904. Reimer looked good as well, looked very entertaining to watch. And then Ville Husso. Husso looked points this year kind of iffy, to be honest. But 9, 5, and 2, a 3.55 and a .892 with the Red Wings this year. I think Husso, you wanted more. We'll see what happens this year with the goaltending, but I do think that there's a good chance we do see a change there when it comes to the goalie tandem. Ins and outs that had happened for this team, not a lot, honestly. Radim Simek and a 7th came in from San Jose, and then Klim Kostin got moved out. That's it. Not a lot of trades this year from Stevie Y at the deadline. I think he looked at this team and said that I think we want to just stick it out with the team we have and see where we can go. They came close. If they had won one more game, they would have been in the playoffs over the Capitals. It just sucks because obviously they lost a couple of games there toward the end, and obviously you kind of can't get over that hump at points when you lose like that. So in terms of draft capital they have in the draft, 15th overall selection, a 2nd, a 3rd, a 4th, a 5th, a 6th, and 2 7ths. So some good capital there overall amongst the draft. Not a lot of picks though that they don't have, so I think they have some good capital again there to select. and get some more depth to the prospect pool for sure. UFAs and RFAs then. I'm now moving a little bit fast. You got Christian Fischer, Patrick Kane, David Perron, Daniel Sprong, and Shane Gostisbehere. Fischer probably goes. Kane, they'll try and keep him around for sure. Perron, we'll see what happens there. Sprong, they want to keep him around, I'm sure, but I think that he might want a higher cap hit. And same with Gostisbehere. So we'll see who they can keep around and sign, but obviously they got to keep money for Mo Seider, who's on the RFA end of things, so we'll see. And speaking of RFAs, Lucas Raymond, Joe Veleno, and Mo Seider. So they have two of the three guys. I'm not worried about Veleno that much, but with Raymond and Seider, those are two big-name guys that definitely are looking for contract raises for sure. So we'll see if they get that this year with the Detroit Red Wings. But above all, Red Wings had a really good year this year. They're much closer to the playoffs than they've been in previous years. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Apologies for moving a little bit fast in this video. I am quickly pre-recording videos because I'm going on vacation. But regardless, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe down below. I really appreciate it. That's your 2024 review for the Detroit Red Wings. But thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.